you have to do is you have to take the visual endpoint and create a request XML out of it, and then fill the question marks.
That's what I want to know.
Exactly. So practically speaking, that is a simple thing. Just like going to displaying the URL in the web browser and testing. So that's like anybody can do, right? Even the manual. But the thing is, you have to know the business requirement. That is important. That is where the tester's role come into picture. Without knowing business requirements, if you just go on testing, filling, so there is no point. Similarly, here there are business requirements for the each web service, what to input, what are the data validations. So these things will be defined in the design document, the integration team design document. Basically, you have to ask integration team, okay, I need your design document, I need the visuals. These are the minimum criteria that you need to ask before actually proceeding for writing web services test cases and testing the web services and testing the database data driven web services, everything. So once you read that design document, it will provide a good understanding of what are these web services, how they are defined, how where they are invoked in the actual code. That means in a page you have the self registration or something, you register yourself and click the next button. So that particular moment it is supposed to invoke some web service. So you have to know exactly which service will be invoked at what point. So you have to have good understanding of the business requirements in terms of functionality. Yeah, you can create XML from the scratch using different AltoY XML is one tool, and there is a XML generator. But if you have endpoint, you don't create the XML from the scratch. Automatically the tool will create for you. SOAP message. Yesterday we have seen. I will show you again. So
somebody else also told me that it's not that simple. He has to do a lot of things. I was wondering, what are the things you'll be doing?
Okay, I'll tell you. So before this, I'll just give you a quick refresh of the yesterday's class to Prachi and you also. So yesterday, the other day, I spoke about the theory also in three-tier architecture, how it is, what is the significance of middleware, and in entire architecture, everything. So that is written here, and some terminology. So what is SOA, what is SOAP, what is REST, what is a WSDL, and directly I'll jump to the last. So here every web service must be identified by unique endpoint. So this is like a URL for each website, and the number of web services may vary from project to project, like we discussed. So if it is a big project, you might have 100 500 web services, so which is very tedious for the tester to test. And obviously the comparing to REST, it's difficult because you have the lengthy XMLs in each web services depending upon your requirements. So but if that is a disadvantage, still you have to live with it, because if the management chooses, the program architects choose the SOAP over REST, then you have to do testing in the SOAP only. There is no choice. So you have to better learn that the SoapUI tool will provide both type of testing. If your project is using REST, you can still create a REST project. Yesterday we have seen, if your project is using SOAP, you can still create SOAP. So both will be provided by the SoapUI. So however, we are sticking to the SOAP project only right now. And okay, so going forward, web services tester will ask integration team. This is what I told you. First things first, prerequisites. They ask the integration team for the visuals and the design documents especially. And design document. Also, tester will ask them for the SOAP request files. This is not required because out of the visuals you can make SOAP request files. But if you ask them sample, if they are obliged to it, that's well and good. Otherwise, it's not really required, because it is because of the fact that the SOAP request messages change from web service to web service. So obviously, if you are a beginner, you can ask them the sample one. But if you are advanced user, you don't have to. You just need the endpoints. And ask integration team for sample expected responses. Okay, this is also a good idea, but it's not mandatory, because everything should be defined in the design document, like I said. they should be mentioned in the design document. So ask integration team for business rules. So again same thing, everything the answer is design document. Similarly integration design document ready thoroughly. Okay, the tester is ready to test SOAP message right now. So there are tools in the industry market. Those tools are SmartBear, SoapUI and Parasoft SOA Test. So mostly the most as far as I have seen, most projects prefer this. But some projects, if you are advanced user and if then you can go for the Parasoft SOA. I have used both, but this is expensive. License is like 5,000 bucks per year or something for 2 licenses, whereas this is cheaper comparing to. But it provides a lot more features. But if your project is seriously looking for some serious web services testing, then they would go for the SOA Test tool. Otherwise, this is also good comparing to like in terms of price and everything. So it's up to the management again. Then what would you do in the SoapUI? So this is basically the SoapUI execution steps, you can say. So get the endpoint from the developer first, and then open the SoapUI, then create a new SOAP project, copy the WSDL and open the SOAP request, then fill the XML with your payloads input values, that means replace the question mark, and run it, and execution is finished. Then you have the response file, response XML on the right side. Then you compare the you just look at the response file, is it valid, and if you already have the expected response, compare it with the actual. Then finally you take the screenshot, and normally whatever you do in your testing process, take a screenshot. If it fail it and log a defect. If it pass, just record the pass. So let us see one example again. So we have taken the weather services yesterday, right? So the sample requests, sample WSDLs are provided in this service -repository.com. So let's see. So this provides a directory of public services. So we picked up weather service. So if you just look at this availability, if it is green, then that means it's working. Yesterday we have explored lot many which are not working. So we can take one of these. So first thing, what will you do? First thing, you have to just display it in the browser. If it is running or not, up and running or not. If you want to see this, if it is displaying the XSD properly, that means it's running at least, so that you can test it. So that is the first criteria you can do. Then you go to the SOAP message, simply create a new SOAP project and paste the initial WSDL. So since we have already used weather, let's call it weather 2. Go with the defaults, I would suggest. So weather 2 is created. So these requests are part of the same service. So remember that a web service can contain multiple requests, multiple types of requests. So it completely depends on how the integration team set up. So one service is get city forecast by zip. That means by name. So you should have given the name in such a way that it's totally self-explanatory. So get city forecast by name, it suggests that you input the zip and you get the city forecast, weather forecast. So let us see. So you just expand it and open the request. So you look at this. This is the request XML, right? So all you have to do is you have to input these, just like you fill the form in the HTML page. Yeah, go ahead.
Sangam, this is what you did in your last project, just reset the question mark.
Yeah, exactly. So yesterday I have shown you the sample XMLs, right? Sample, my projects XML. So let me show it.
So you did not have to create the XML, it was already created by the tool.
Yeah, so basically those, like yesterday I told you, right, those are all, those initially they were like this. Initially what I did was I took a WSDL from the developer and launched it, and I just made a request file out of it. Then I saved it, right? So I just save it.
So, Sangam, I have a question here. So, every day you are creating a, suppose, see, every day we need to send status, okay, to our team leader, manager, whoever. So,
Hmm.
how are you taking care of the daily execution? Suppose you have created 10 test cases, okay, in one of your projects. So, you executed 10 cases one day. Now, next day, how are you, suppose you executed those, out of those 10 cases, you executed one or two test cases again. So, like, how are you tracking that?
Okay. So then, in that case, you have to maintain an Excel spreadsheet, daily activities. So I'll show you the Excel. So once I'll go step by step, Prachi, so that
Okay.
the flow will not be interrupted. So I'll show you. Don't worry. So then, what will you do? You take this XML and replace this by the valid input. So in this case, just the valid input is the zip code, valid zip code. Then save it. Then execute it. So automatically the response will come after some time. So depending upon the server speed and everything, it will display the response. The response here is, it will take the zip code and it will provide, it will, okay, that was my vacuum cleaner. Okay. Okay, so what you do is, you take the XML, request XML, you input it with the valid value, and then run it. Then you compare this response XML with your expected. So in this case, you can tell by common sense that this is a valid response. That means this web service is working. So you take the screenshot and you pass it, just like we spoke yesterday. So you take the screenshot. So this is the response. I copy pasted here. Take the screenshot if and you pass it. So you also need to do this for different sets of data. For example, this is a positive testing, right? You also do the some negative testing. So let me input some invalid zip code. Let's say this is an invalid zip code. Then run it. Okay, this is a valid zip code, fortunately. So let's use 000. So for invalid zip code, it just simply types this response text. City could not be found. That means it is working. For negative test data, it should work like this. So this is the expected result. So still you pass it. So here, maintaining for different, if you don't want to enter this data every time. For example, you need to run these web services on a daily basis, and you don't want to enter this data every time. So what would you do is, simply, this is one set of data, right? 27707 is the zip code. Hold on. So you save it, request one, which has the valid data, positive data. So every time you have to save a couple times depending on the number of requests here. So you save it. So then you want to run the same service for different sets of data. What would you do? You simply clone the request. So let's call it request 2. Alright. So request 2 is simply a clone of request 1, basically, so that I can enter another set of data. So next time I don't have to enter. So this time I'll enter some negative data, or you can use different like black box testing techniques to actually determine the test data. So this is useful if you have only 2 or 3 sets of data, but if you have 100 sets of data for each web service, then we have to go for the data driven testing, which we will see later. So this, yeah.
This seems to be very like easy. You're just replacing the question mark with values. If you know the values, like, is it so easy in the work environment?
Both yes and no. It will be easier in terms of execution, but it will be difficult in terms of your like writing a test cases. You have to think of all this test data, right? So that's where the tester role comes into picture. Otherwise,
No, only test data, I know what you mean, but other than test data, what else the should do?
what would you do is you have to like basically what would they expect? That depends. Sumo integration team normally expect the web service testers to thoroughly test it, just like the developer expect you, right, manual testing or automation tester to thoroughly test the functionality testing, completely do the functional testing on the web page, web application. So
No, what I understood, like, we have to just clear out the data.
no, no,
Actually,
no.
understanding the errors is little difficult, and what I faced was understanding the errors was a bit difficult, and many times what happens, the developers only give you the project, they don't give you the results. So you import the project in SoapUI, and then you have to create test cases based on your thinking. You have to create different negative and positive test cases. So if we don't know XML properly, then it's a bit difficult.
Right.
Yeah,
So
but
for that,
even trial and error. Show us how to do what she said. No, what is like really create it. Show us how you have to do that.
okay. So just now,
Replacing and all, it doesn't. Anybody can do replacing and doesn't pretty easy. If you know the data, you can replace. But I want to see how to create XML.
how to create XML? Yeah. So Prachi said, right, sometimes the developers give you the project, then simply have to
Yeah.
import it. So that I'll show you.
Yeah.
That already we have seen yesterday. That I'll show you. See,
Yeah, we import the project, but then what he does is what we should do is they give one full XML which contains everything.
mm-hmm.
Now we need to segregate those XML and create our own test cases.
Right,
So
right, yeah.
we don't know because we don't know much of XML. We don't know what to remove, what to keep, how to create those test cases. That is a problem.
Okay,
That is
so
the problem I face.
okay, don't worry about that. First of all, you don't
Okay.
create the XML from the scratch. It's not required. Like you said, two cases are there, right? One is you take the WSDL, you take the endpoints. In most of the cases, they will give you the endpoints and you will create the XMLs automatically. The tool will create XML, so you don't have to. The XML creation is not your task. That will be the developer task. If you want to test XML, if you want to create XML from the scratch, there are other tools. For example, Altova XML Spy. Normally, what will you do? You have this XSD, right? This is called XSD. So out of this XSD, if you want to create XMLs out of your own, you use different tools like Altova XML Spy, XML Generator. You are aware of these tools, Prachi?
No, 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 I am not aware.
Okay, so that's the old technique. So right now, what they will give you, either they will give you endpoint point one, or they will give you a project. We will see both. Yesterday we have seen both. So already you know how to do from the WSDL, right? You simply create the SOAP project and enter the WSDL and do this. This is a simple task. As far as the execution is concerned, it is simple task. I am not saying it is not simple. The main your tester's role come into picture only when you have to play with you have to use your discussion powers, you have to use your knowledge, just like you do in the manual testing. That's what I'm saying. In the manual testing, anybody can do, right? Like they can go to web page, enter blah blah blah. But what is the significance of tester? They have to have business knowledge. Same thing here. Execution wise, you know this, you know the process, you know the procedure. Once you know it, it's simple. If you don't know, it may seem difficult. Similarly, the procedure is this. I'll show you different procedures from the result, from the project. We will see both. That's it. Then data driving is the one step advanced to it. That is important because you have to drive these web services over different sets of data. Why you are doing? Because the management wants you to thoroughly test the web services. If web service fails for one set of data and you just passed it, and it in the production it raised some deep bugs, the end users failed, did not go through some web page because it simply said the particular web service is down for this data or it's not working. That again it comes back to you, the tester. So basically, tester has to use your his techniques, black box testing techniques or whatever. So that is the tester duty. That is a part of STLC, software testing life cycle, testing procedures, right? So here this is the procedure of SoapUI tool. You have to understand that one. Somo, did that answer your question? Is it simple or difficult? What is the answer?
No, no.
You did answer.
Here, the way you are saying it looks me very simple, but it won't be that simple in the industry when we go, no?
No. Ask Somo. I think since you haven't worked in the web services at all, right? So that is making you confused. Prachi already worked it
Because
to
what
some
I am
extent.
what I am understanding, I just hear the website will be given, that XML will be created by the tool. I just go and do the question mark.
Right.
Good step two.
Exactly. What do you expect? What do you expect to do? You want to do like lot of stuff there? That is the thing.
No, no. Like where is the like?
What? No, man.
You told me that you have to do a lot of stuff.
No. That we are going. What is your what are you expecting? Tell me. Do you want to replace lot of question marks? Or that is the thing. That I'm making the job easy for you. What are you expecting? Tell me.
Looks like a very easy job.
Right. That is it. That is the tool. So that doesn't make you happy. It is a tool. If it has to be difficult, right? That's what you're saying.
No, no. I'm saying.
Come on, man. That tool is
So you have to create the HTML or something is there, or
right. That's
the
whatever
will
is
not be
required. Listen, whatever is required, I am already telling you, right? You want to create XML, I'll show you that one also after this. So, one step at a time. If you directly jump to the data-driven testing, you don't understand. See, the tool is what it is, and the manual testing is what it is. You cannot change it, right? If you somebody says if you just graduated, right, and you come to the IT industry, and they will see the web, oh, this is a simple. For example, you are a experienced tester, right? And you have hired in fresher, and he is sitting beside you, and you are showing, okay, this is how you have to do. Okay, open the URL, you have to enter first name, last name, and click next. Then he will say, oh, this is this simple, this is what you are doing. If we say, how do you feel, this is the same thing. But the fact is, what is the fact, you know, right? You have to understand the business requirements. It's not that simple as it seems to be, correct? So is not is it, are you understanding or not? Same thing you compare with the manual testing. That's what I'm saying. You are saying like the whole web services testing is just replacing the question mark. that, that's a statement is correct, but you don't say it. It's like insulting web service tester. I'm just saying, it's not replacing the question mark.
I felt that maintenance of these test cases and maintenance of our execution, maintenance of defects is difficult here because suppose we are executing every day, we find 15 defects, and then 15 defects we have to give the developer the request, the response for each of the defects. Then if after some days he asks us, can you give this request is somewhat I'm not understanding. You give me the request. After 15 days he asks me again. Then I'll be confused because of that.
Right, yeah. So for that we will maintain an Excel spreadsheet. Right. So for that we will maintain an Excel spreadsheet like what is the daily activity. I will show you. I think I have that Excel spreadsheet with me. Let me open. So for that, what will you do is you simply maintain.
Yeah, I have worked in a project from means they started with SoapUI, just started. So for me also it was just a start. So the problem was like we were testing this some services and every we used to find a lot of defects. So after 15 days, if the developer was asking me, can you give me the request and response of this defect?
There are different ways, man. Replacing the question mark.
It's not simple.
It's not that easy, Sumo.
I didn't feel it was simple because we didn't have any requirement document. We have to like discuss with the developers. Is it behaving like this? Is it correct or not? And they used to go in the code and find out. Actually, it should behave like that or not. We found a lot of issues. So maybe because of not so, but maybe
No, so
because
if there is no requirement, then how the test will serve?
and the application was already working. They were doing they were doing only the development of services.
Okay.
So
So they gave you the business.
they used to give us project, entire project. So after that, we used to like get a very big XML uh, containing all the types of inputs which are possible. Now we had to create test cases from that. So
Okay.
for us also it was difficult because we both were new. We were two. We both were new to XML and SoapUI. So segregating and creating test cases was difficult.
So Sangam, can you show that what she's saying?
Yeah, I'm coming to that. Don't worry. Okay, so Prachi, so you asked it how do I wish I had that somewhere in my hard drive, but I don't find it. But this is how you maintain. For example, you have 100 web services, so you just maintain a spreadsheet like this, simply like this,
Okay.
and you provide one column is web service endpoint, and in the test environments, and there are different types of web service, right? One is proxy, one is original. So you have to maintain those also. For proxy, you have to first, what normally the convention is, they will run the original web service, and if it is passed, then only they will run the proxy. So normally it's good idea to run both proxy and original service. So what is the difference between proxy and original? Normally the proxy means you're hiding your identity. So you're not, the web service will not hit the hub directly. So whereas there is a middle, it will go through some interface and hit. So whereas the original directly hits the hub, whatever it is, it's a federal hub or whatever is set up. So you maintain the spreadsheet. I will search my old project and see if I can find it. That's a nice template for maintaining the web services testing status every day, daily activity. So I'll share with you guys if I find it. Otherwise, it's a simple one. You just maintain pass and fail, and normally it's if daily you just maintain a separate sheet and put a date nicely, and every day you maintain that sheet and just record this pass or fail. So otherwise it's not that difficult in terms of the format and everything. It may be little different, but simply it will look like this, you know. Okay, so without wasting any more time, we will go. So this you understood, right? Somo, it is simply replacing the question mark. I will agree with you. So 27707.
What about assertions?
Yeah, we will see the sessions later. That is provided by SoapUI Pro. SoapUI Pro only provides that. SoapUI doesn't. You cannot use insert assertions in the SoapUI because that is a feature. Feature is disabled because they want you to buy the license, right?
No, nothing like that, Sangam. Assertions are there even in without Pro.
Really, let me see. So mostly I've used assertions in the SoapUI Pro, but let's see. Okay, so normally you assert it here, right, in the response. So you right click. Normally when I right click I should find it. So but we will see in the other Pro also. Okay, anyway, so this is one way. So what we can do is otherwise we can save this test normally the developer will save the test on their unit testing after they do the unit testing, and they will give you export the XML and give you. So now when you import that XML, automatically it comes with all the payloads directly as ready made, so that you can just test it without any test data. You don't have to worry about the test data, you don't worry about the visuals also. So let us see. This is stuck. I don't know, this is stuck here. Okay. So okay, so let us save this weather 2 on your hard drive. So let me go there, and I have saved it somewhere here. So these are normally I was maintaining some. These are all developers, so I was maintaining separate folders for each developer. So whatever they give me, I would test it. So this is exactly the folder structure I used to use in my previous project. Okay, so let me go. So this is the web service 2, right? Web service 2. I'll take this and put it in my somewhere here. So the developer has given you this XML. So the project, whole project, this might contain one web service or multiple web services. So you simply take it and go to your SoapUI tool, and what you do is simply import it. This is the second method, so which is most easy method, you can say. So which one is that? Weather 2. Okay, so open it. So same thing, whatever you have created, it will be open. So we will similarly we will import another one, import project. So let us import SOAPUI project. Okay, let me import this prod SOAPUI project, whatever it is. Okay, so click on OK. This is unresolved paths. Okay, however it is imported, let's see. So this particular project has, see, the prod project automatically imported as multiple test suites and multiple test cases. Test case in the sense web service requests for you. It's stuck again. Alright, so here this was imported. In this there are multiple, like I told you, multiple. Here this is my SOAP request basically that was coming out of. So here I don't have to worry about the visual. Visual is there, endpoint is there, and including the input is there. So when you run it, what will happen? Automatically it will run the web server and fetch the response. Since this is the project 1, it won't run here. You have to be in the VPN and you have to be connected in the network. So obviously what it will throw, it will not even fetch the response. It will throw the request could not be processed. So somewhere here it will display after timeout. So let us see. So see, so on the below you will see error getting response, connection refused. So that's expected. So similarly this particular project fetched lot of, not just one. If it is 100 web service requests, it will fetch everything with the payloads. So that is advantage. So here you don't replace any question marks. So this is simply straightforward. So you can ask me, this is lot more easier, dead easier than the before, right? You don't even have to replace the question marks. So here, what is your job? You have to still run it. You have to use your brains to think and compare whether the response is correct or not. Ultimately you are going to make decision. That is the tester role, right? Otherwise they won't give this web service testing to anybody. They could have tested themselves. Even they have their own unit testers. Why would they hire the tester? Because tester will make a decision. He will completely thoroughly test it, take the responsibility and give the proper result. That is why testers role come into picture. Same thing for functionality testing, same thing for the web service testing. So it's mainly it's a common sense. But your role, you have to think, you have to play with different kinds of data. That is it is still, I am saying, it's not that difficult, it is simple. But when you actually work on the project, you have the responsibility, right? So you feel pressure and everything. That's again, I don't have to tell you. Same thing. If you don't know the web services, you just compare it with the manual testing. It is the same thing. Only the what I'm telling you is the procedure, how to use the SoapUI tool, what are the different techniques, what are the different features. So that's all I can do. So again, you have to own it. You have to customize it according to your needs. That's your responsibility later when you do it in the project. Okay. So yesterday, this is what we have done: exporting and importing. And import as a packet project, that's for the zip file. And today we will see the data driven testing. So what is the significance of data driven testing? If you need to run each web service on multiple sets of data, so obviously you can do it with 2 or 3 sets of data over here. What is the other technique? By cloning. Simply clone the request. I'll take this screenshot. Clone the request and then you put a separate setup. That is like alternative to data testing. But when it comes to running the same web service with very like high number of multiple sets of data, then you have to go for the data driven testing. So cloning is request. So this is not an alternative, useful for making a copy of a request XML with payload and change its payloads so that we can retain the payloads every time we execute web services. Okay, I'll quickly finish the data driven testing because I have to pack again. I have to start by 5:30. Cab is coming at 5:30, so it's already 3 o'clock, right? Okay, so I have made before in my project nice presentation for it. I'll show you. So we will follow the same thing. Even if you don't remember, that's okay. So this was made for the automated data driven testing setup for the web services with XPath match assertions using SoapUI Pro. So back then it was called SoapUI Pro. So first, this is how the hierarchy looks like in your data driven testing when you actually install. So you should have installed the SoapUI Pro. Let me see. So it is still installing. So all you have to do is you have to run this as an administrator, otherwise it wouldn't work. So I tried to run as a normal user, but it didn't work. Okay, so let me install it. So which one you have to install? So you have to install this Ready API. Right now it is called Ready API. So you download the 64-bit version or 32-bit version, and then do not run it. Run it as an administrator always. So otherwise it would give error. Somehow it gave me error. So first install Ready API from Smart Bear. So this was previously known as SoapUI Pro. Okay, so that is the first step. So let's see. So it's still installing.
So Sangam, in what all assertions you were using in your project, like in real time, what all assertions do we require?
What is the assertion?
It is used to it's like a checkpoint, right? In
Right,
QTP.
right, right.
So we need to find like if we want to compare with something or we want to check whether that thing exists or not, then we use need assertions.
Yeah, that's right. Assertion is basically to validate some value in the response automatically. You have the expected value in the response, and you are running this for like mostly for data driven testing. You don't want to manually compare it, but you want to automatically compare it with the expected response values. So you simply insert the assertions. So that's more or less like checkpoints in QTP, right? Okay, so the this is ready, installed. I think somebody got disconnected from.
Me, I got disconnected.
Okay, are you okay? So same password is
I'm
same.
reconnecting again.
Okay, password is same, so you can reconnect. Okay, so you can just say no for this. Okay, looks like it is installed. No, not yet. Ready? Okay, it is installed right now. No valid license found. Do you want to install a license? I think we have to install a license also.
Password is not working, Sangam.
Oh, really? Password is same password.
Yeah, I'm
HS
putting the same password, it's not working.
HS8 is 87. SoapUI NG is a SoapUI next generation. NG means next generation. Let's I don't know. This is the new for me also because I use SoapUI Pro. So let's try. No valid license found. Ready API will shut down. Do you want to save? Okay. Ah, it shut down. Let's see. Today it's getting late. I don't know. We have to do it next day. Okay, Prachi, did you can you try and install? Did you download this Ready API?
No, I downloaded something else. I didn't know that I need to download this.
Yeah, that's okay. You downloaded the Soap UI, right? Not Soap
SoapUI
API.
Pro 5.1.2 hyphen M, something like that. SoapUI
Uh,
Pro 5.1.2.
I'm not sure about the are you it's Soap UI is 5.0.0. So are you able to find download the Soap UI Pro?
So this is not the one which I needed to install. SoapUI Pro 5.1.2.
I think yeah, that's what we require, right? I couldn't find it on like this site. I found Ready API and downloaded it. It is not working.
Actually, for me, I didn't. When I launched this, it asks for
right.
So
So can you install it? Yeah,
email
same.
ID and all. Email ID and all. So because
Uh-huh.
of that, I didn't register.
Same thing. Yeah, I did the same thing. It said 14 days trial version. Then I download this one. Then it is saying no license found. So are you encountering the same issue? At least it should provide the 14 days trial version, right?
SoapUI Pro I don't have at all. I have installed this new one, but I need to register, so I stopped that.
Right, right, yeah.
I postponed it.
Yeah, you have to register with some email. That's what I did. Then it showed me the link for this Ready API, not the SoapUI Pro. So they have changed the name from SoapUI Pro to Ready API. That's what I'm thinking. So here I can see. Huh? Huh? Okay. Here I can see all these sample projects, data driven, and so I'm thinking this is the SoapUI Pro. However, it says no valid license found. So do one thing, Prachi and Somo, you download this, okay? Download the Ready API and register it with your email. Then it will send you the license probably. I will also check whether it is sent or not. Then we will take it from there. So this takes some time, right? So once you install, let us continue this later. So I have to stop here because today I am traveling. It's already 3 o'clock. So we'll continue tomorrow.
Sangam, you mean the name has changed or what?
Yeah, so before it was called SoapUI Pro. So in the smart bear site you don't find SoapUI Pro right now. So they showed me when you registered yourself, they showed me the link for this Ready API. So I just download that one. So try the same thing, but you register and see if it sends you the license for 14 days. Okay. No valid license found. Do you want to install license? I said yes. Then it showed me this. Then okay. Then you select this. No valid license found. Do you want to say okay? That's what it is saying. So try the installation.
Sangam, you will have to remove every SoapUI thing which is on your PC, and then you need to install this, and then I think you need to send for license again.
No. It's not required. You can have SoapUI and SoapUI Pro both. I have worked like that. So the this is because of the license is not found. It didn't say already SoapUI is installed, right? So probably you have to
No,
install.
but 14 days is over, right? So your grace period is over for 14 days. So now they come to know that 14 days is over, and you are again trying to ask for license. That's why it's not happening.
No. 14 days is not over. I just downloaded yesterday. You can download it right now.
Okay.
Yeah. How come 14 days is over? There's no
I
no.
thought you were having a pro version initially you were having, and then you installed it.
No, this system is completely new. This is formatted, so there is no pro version installed before. Don't worry. So only thing you try yourself Ready API. I think the most likely the Ready API is known as SoapUI Pro because I couldn't find SoapUI Pro the term on the website because they have changed it maybe. So only thing is lies they will you register. Go ahead and register and check the email whether they will. Normally this license would come as this. I will show you the license earlier. They would send me this unzip me licenses, right? And SoapUI key trial. This is what they would send initially for SoapUI Pro. This would come as the attachment in the email. So right now I couldn't find any license in my attachment email. So you try register. So and see if it is able to just download and install it because the 14 days is long time. We would complete before 14. Don't worry. So just download and install it. If you install it successfully, we can at least use one of your machines. I couldn't find the license, so that's why without the tool you cannot proceed with the data driven testing. So we will try that. I have to leave now because it's already late for me. We will continue this. Continue this not tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow I'll be on the same traveling. So probably.
When are you reaching tomorrow?
Tomorrow. Oh no, tomorrow afternoon I'll be reaching. So obviously I'll be tired, right? So hopefully Saturday I will take from there Pennsylvania. So Sunday I cannot take again because Monday is my first day, right? So obviously I have to go. So Saturday we will try to see. But before this, I suggest you to install it. Try the installation. Without installation, you cannot proceed. Remember. excel.
need to give our company name and phone number, everything?
No, just give some dummy number, it will work. Just create some
Okay.
dumb but you have to give valid email, because the license will be sent to email, you know. So
Yeah.
email you
We
create,
can give dummy, right?
you can create another, just create a Gmail specially for this. Do not give your personal email ID, I would suggest, because they will bug you every time you purchase after 14 days. Just they will send you 20 emails for purchasing, so don't give your personal email. Create another email for this specifically, something like, say, I would create like Sangam underscore SoapUI, so something like that, unique, at gmail.com. So just use that and give any dummy mobile number. Don't worry. Otherwise, if you give your mobile number, they will call you. So don't blame me for that one. So then expect a license as attachment. So unfortunately, I didn't get any attachment. So see, if you get any attachment, just install it. Run as administrator always. Then you install the SOAP Ready API. Then apply the license. So then you can see, once you open it, we can actually use it. If you can't install it, you can there is no way you can use it, right? So okay, so I'll end the session today here. I'll send you the notes. Whatever notes I sent you yesterday, right? Those are the notes. So I didn't make any modifications, but if you still want, I can send you these notes. And we will continue. Mainly the what is left is data driven testing and the assertions, right? XPath assertions. So that we will see in the next. Mostly you will need one more class, that's it. Then afterwards we will need one more class for JMeter. Then we will Prachi, I think Saturday I will take that Selenium also on the HSSF, the Apache POI package, right? That is important. That is a one topic remaining. So once that is over, then that should give you that should be completing like 99% complete. There are many like Selenium grade and everything, Selenium test ng is not required, I would say, because the framework we are using, right, that is a replacement for test ng. Test ng is a framework. If you install the test ng, what it will do, it will provide nice simple framework, a framework like this we have seen already. But since we have created our own framework, that is mostly better than test ng, and test ng has lot of this disadvantage I have seen. It will throw errors and all those. You have to completely have different mindset for the using test ng. So trust me, the framework we have used is better than test ng. So all we have to see is the Apache POI. That is important. That will give you knowledge about how to read Microsoft documents, Word, Excel, Access, and whatever. So the JXL package we have seen is that will also do. But you have asked, right, it cannot read the XLSX files. It will only read XLS files. The JXL package will only read XLSX it won't read. But the solution is Apache POI. Apache POI will read XLS, XLSX, DOXX, DocX, all kinds of files, all kinds of Microsoft documents. So that is the most widely used package for reading Microsoft documents in Selenium. So we will see that hopefully on Saturday. So once we complete this one, probably we'll start that class first and then jump to the SoapUI or whatever. So but I'll suggest you first install this Apache the Ready API and apply the license. You apply the license immediately, don't worry. 14 days is a long time, so we'll finish before that, and you will have a lot of time. After that you can create one more email and you can actually apply another license, so that's possible. So don't worry about that. Okay, so I'll end today's session.